Namaste, beautiful friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Spiritual Wellness, a channel dedicated to uplifting and enhancing your spiritual well-being. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am Elle, and my goal is to help you understand the astrological energies that you may be experiencing, and then I pull a tarot reading so we can get some details on how these energies may play out for you. That way you have a heads up and therefore you are aware. And if you are aware, you are positioned to respond instead of react. And responses generally generate more favorable outcomes. Okay, let's jump into the astrology for today, March 30th. So let's talk about the astrology. There's a bit of thunderstorm activity going on, so kind of appropriate that we're talking about the astrology. You may hear some claps of thunder as we go through this reading. So March 30th, this is an interesting time. I hope you're ready, and I don't know if you experienced the shift, but I sure felt it. The shift is Neptune ingressing Aries. Now, what is this energy going to mean for us? Well, there's going to be some contradiction, but not oppositional. It's going to be like opposite ends of the scale. So you're going to have a lower vibration energy, and you're going to be encouraged and supported to move into a higher frequency, a higher vibration of that energy. Now, why is this? Well, because Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, but it's moving into the first sign of the zodiac. So, yeah, we have kind of this diametrical energy. So, let's say, for example, you're going to be triggered into a lower version response for some situation that you're going to encounter. And we'll see more in the tarot. But for example, something is going to inspire fear in you. But you're going to have that initial reaction. But as we are aware and prepared, we are going to be able to stop before that energy escalates and say, whoa, wait a minute. That's just a lower vibration energy inspired by the astrology. What would my response look like if I wanted the highest and greatest outcomes? So you're going to be able to stop, kind of check in with your awareness, and then you're going to be able to plan and depose your response. So it's just kind of an energy of a dichotomy, an opposite ends of the scale, not polarizing, because it's not meant to be divisive. It's meant to have a check-in. This was a lower version of me reaction. But now at this higher level, higher frequency, higher vibration version of me, I am responding. So you're going to see a little bit of that. Now, that's for you, but the people around you may not be aware and may still be in reaction mode. So just watch out for that. You may see some unraveling, some really powerful and strong reactions out of people in the next couple of weeks. This is a time of birth and rebirth. Okay, so we are going to be stepping into new energy that we haven't experienced in quite a while with Neptune in Aries. So this is going to be kind of a new rebirth of belief systems. I think people are going to be checking in with their soul self, and they're going to kind of gravitate toward the higher resonance. And this is part of that evolution. And we've been seeing this in the readings for a bit. Now, also, I do want to say that this is just an introduction, because in October, Neptune is going to go back into Pisces, until January 2026. So we're going to be revisiting some of the themes that we encountered when Neptune was in the last final degrees of Pisces. And as we move into this Aries energy with Neptune, this is going to be the introduction of the new, whatever it is we're giving birth to or rebirth to, coming online as kind of a beta test. So we're going to revisit and check in October through January of this year and then into 2026. But then Neptune will move into Aries, solid, strong, for the next 14 years. So we're going to be dealing with this energy for quite a while. And as we go through each degree, it's going to shift a little bit, it's going to clarify a little bit, and it's going to strengthen our spirituality, our belief system, and our belief in ourselves. All right, let me cleanse and clear this space. Let me pull some details for you so you know how this may play out for you, so you can be aware and prepared. Okay, so just from the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland, we have the New Moon in Aries card. We just had that new moon, powerful solar eclipse in Aries. And the message on this card is go for it. So whatever it is that you're birthing or rebirthing or achieving or striving for or desiring, this is the time to go for it. With that Aries energy, you are going to be supported. Just remember that there will be a look back, a glance back in October. So just be prepared for that because the momentum will stall in that energy. All right, let's see this is Messages from the Guides by James Van Praagh, and I will be using The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. You are never alone. You are always guided and supported, but a couple of caveats. You need to be able to be receptive, so you need to balance the masculine and feminine energies, and you also need to give permission. Ask for guidance and give permission. All right, we have these two cards. Never judge another. I'm going to put this over here because we have two never cards. And then understand your body. Now, for some of us, and I did a reading, I did not post it. I talked about it yesterday. This is a time of physical concern. And I just want you to be attuned to your body. Start to realize if something seems amiss. Get it checked out immediately. So basically, I really feel like the energy right now is... Yesterday I did a twin flame reading, and I can link that right here. I really felt like there was there was a critical nature and maybe I don't want to say malicious, but kind of a snide response that somebody was going to elicit to their twin. I can't remember how I phrased it, but anyway, it had to do with judgment, and the judgment card did come out, but this is about seeing people and their situations through their lens, not just yours. but also give grace and not judgment, because they're struggling with the same astrological energies that you are, and depending on their chart it may play out very differently. Whereas I feel like you're very supported here. I think you're very confident. I just don't want to see you lapse into some of that. I feel like it's kind of snide energy. All right, I just saw the Judgment card in this deck. It's called the Call, and there it's gone. But comes up twice. Sorry. That's Leo energy, and this is about the new beginning. This is about what we're birthing, this new rebirth. And there's for a rebirth to happen, there has to be an ending of some old energy. The Judgment to me is always kind of calling in the karmic debt. The karmic markers are out and they have been paid. Queen of Pentacles. Definitely earth energy. That's Capricornian energy. So there may be a Capricorn energy, feminine energy you're dealing with, and it's energy, not gender. Here we have the Messenger of Water. That's Cancerian energy. Ooh, the Tower. Something has to kind of be deconstructed in order for this new rebirth to occur. It's a rebirth, reconstruction. And the Tower is Aries energy, ruled by Mars, of course. And it could be some chaos in this time. But remember, all of that chaos is just disorderly transformation. The transformation is still taking place despite the chaos. Three of Wands. More Aries energy. We're loaded with Aries energy. And then here is the Seven of Cups. That is Scorpionic energy. And the Ace of Water. This is the new kind of emotional grace coming online. This is the higher version of your responses and not reactions. I think there's an immediate reaction to this Tower, and it's going to seem somewhat confusing. It's also going to feel arbitrary. It's not arbitrary. It's very targeted. It's very distinct. That whatever is, it's kind of like a laser focus. Whatever is being dismantled has to be dismantled. It isn't just happenstance. It's not, just an odd occurrence or by chance. This is being carefully crafted by the divine in order to make new energy, new space, a new foundational opportunity for what you're bringing in, because this is only going to create debris in your life. Now, this Three of Wands is, you can anticipate some changes coming. Here's, speaking of, here's the Chariot card. Being Cancerian energy. The Chariot to me is kind of the victory. It's, you're in charge. You're planning the steps that you need in order to achieve what it is that you desire. There's the King of Water. More Cancerian energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn. We have the King of Water, which is Cancerian energy. So you could be dealing with either one or both of those energies. But it's very balanced, because I feel like looking at from the elements, we have the Queen, and the Queen being the Earth, and then the King of Water, watering the earth, nourishing, hydrating, supplying a necessary life-giving water to the feminine energy, we also have this Knight of Water. This is the Knight of Cups, and this is generally a message coming in having to do with the emotional aspect. Feels like, you know, there could be a passionate energy message coming through. Oh, there's the Justice card. Well, we've got some major arcana here. Justice is the 11 card. That's Libra energy. Venus is retrograde. And I really feel like with Venus being retrograde, there's not going to be a clear outcome just yet with this Justice card. I feel like some truth, some understanding, some, my guides are saying like an agreed upon set of terms. That's what the understanding is. It's an agreement between people or a group of people, but I feel like it's like two people. It feels like it's being violated or deconstructed, and the word they're using is destroyed. But please don't react. This is the time that these readings really help you out. When you see this start to happen, then just pull back your energy and just give it a pause. Just give it some time, because remember, we're going to have the initial lower vibration. It could be an instigation, it could be a triggering, it could be an antecedent, but then as we go through the patience and allow the energies to kind of churn for a little bit and then maybe de-energize, de-escalate, then we're going to get to a point where we can really work with those energies with an awareness of, okay, why is this happening? Why is this being deconstructed? Instead of taking it personally, instead of being ego-based, instead of saying, you know, I really worked hard on that, you just say, okay, obviously something new is going to be coming in, and I'm really excited to see that. So instead of taking the low road, that anger, ego, triggering, you know, reaction, you're just going to stop, pause, put yourself in that higher vibration, give grace, and say, you know, obviously this is being dismantled for a reason, and that means something better's coming. I can't wait to see it. That's a more positive response that's going to send out a vibration that's going to generate more positive outcomes. I think that was a perfect example of what you're going to experience in this energies with Neptune leaving Pisces, having ingress into Aries, and having that kind of dichotomy of reaction versus response. Here's the Hierophant. This is Earth energy, Taurus, another major arcana. So you can already see the intensity. So you may be dealing with a Taurus, don't have to be. Another ruled by Venus, and this is about that sacred knowledge, that wisdom. That is the indicator of your ascension, of your higher vibration, of your higher frequency timeline. So now that we're leaving this old timeline where there's a lot of reactionary, lower vibration energy, we have shifted into this higher timeline where the frequency is of responding with grace, without judgment. Seven. We have 3 sevens on the table. We have the Chariot card, which is a 7. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is Leo energy. This is where I'm saying, don't make this about your ego or pride. Make it about the higher frequency response. Now, the 7 of Wands is generally where you feel as though you are in a defensible position and you need to defend yourself. You may feel as though you're outnumbered, or, you know, everybody disagrees with your project plan. However, it feels as though this is really kind of a checking in energy. And it's not so much about, you know, putting a pin on the chart of where you are on your ascension path. It's more about looking back, and I think I said that in yesterday's reading, on the old version of you, the lower vibratory version of you, and then why that reaction doesn't feel good anymore, why responding feels so much better. Here we have the 9 of water. That's the 9 of cups. I think that's the satisfaction that you're going to get from saying, wow, ordinarily I would have really just kind of lost my shit over that. But you know what? I just feel so much more invested in responding. And I like the way that feels to me. Here's the 6 of fire. We got cards of overcoming, of victory. And that, I think, is the underlying message here, is that you've come a long way, baby. And now you're going to see that in that dichotomy energy, the lower version of you energy, the lower version of you vibration, and then the higher. It's almost like a litmus test. Where are you in your vibratory status? How far have you come? And that's going to be illuminated by these energies. All right, let's do bottom of the deck. 10 of fire. This is 10 of wands energy. That is Sagittarius. Take it lightly. You know, hold on loosely. Take it lightly. Don't get hyper involved in these energies. You may need to put a little personal protection bubble around you, because other people are going to be spouting off. They're all going to be kind of acting a little bit reactionary, and that can really infiltrate your energy. So just, you know, do some deep breathing and have some sympathy for those who are not listening to readings like this, that don't know what's coming at them and don't know why they're reacting, because they are not aware. And without that awareness, you're just like a pinball in a pinball machine, and you're just pinging from one little thing to the other and setting off all these lights and noises, and it's very chaotic, when all you really want to do is just sink it right in the hole and go home. Okay? Let's see, bottom of the deck on this one, they said, lead by example. If that's not perfect, because light workers are here to lead by example. We talked about that in yesterday's reading as well. I think so. Or was it the reading I didn't publish? It was a reading recently, one I am still deliberating whether I want to publish, because the energies that I experienced were very bleak, and I don't like putting that energy out there and influencing the collective energy. So I still haven't decided, but there was some good information in it. All right, that's what I have for you. I hope it helps, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you, and every interaction helps my channel with that, you know, algorithm that just really seems to shift so much that, you know, who knows. But, you know, if you have favorite YouTube content creators, hopefully like me, go ahead and consider liking, at least liking a video, subscribing to their channel, so that they can get some recognition from the algorithm. It's a tough algorithm out there right now. So, all right, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day. I am Elle, wishing you well. Can't wait to see you again in the next video. And until then, namaste.